Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Chick-Fil-A You Fall Texas Show. Playoff week. I'm joined right now with my coach, Gentleman Coach. First and foremost, congratulations on exciting victory 2 weeks ago down in Florida, Georgia, early tennis. We were debating. I don't think I can ever remember another game that I've been associated with like a 25 point victory, a 25 point comeback in the fourth quarter. So, what outstanding game. Yeah, it was a great game, not for me. At the end it was, we fell behind early in that game and we kept fighting and then that fourth quarter we kinda kept on and started playing college football and we was able to try to a real big victory that we needed one time bye week. Yeah, it seemed like there's so much
Excitement at the end of the game. More excitement, I think, than I've seen from the players all season when that game was over with.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you can see that our guys really wanted it, and that's something we talked about at halftime and talked about on the sideline as a group. We needed this big win going into our bye week to rest up and stuff. But it's just the fight that these kids have, and I've been telling y'all all the year. One thing I don't have to question is the fight that my team has. I mean, they go out and give it their all. They might not do everything right, but they're going out and going 110 miles per hour doing it.
Right. And talk about specifics of that game. I mean, the first half was close. It was 7-3 at halftime. They were leading basically. Both teams had really one drive. They scored a touchdown. We kicked a field goal. They didn't really do anything other than that one drive. The first half, Eufaula had more stats at halftime, more yardage than they did. But the third quarter was all early county for whatever reasons.
Yes.
They put up 3 touchdowns. But after their third touchdown, I don't know that I've ever seen a game go just exactly like this. They score 3 straight touchdowns. Eufaula finishes with 4 straight touchdowns.
Yeah.
And so we answered their third touchdown with a touchdown drive of our own, and the momentum just completely switched at that point.
Correct. Well, I can say defense both they necks then got us to stop that we needed, and offense started clicking. We started throwing the ball around. Cotton did a great job back there, buying some times and finding some receivers. And I can say Brown and Anderson and Antron Mitchell really stepped up that game. I mean, they make some huge, phenomenal catches in the end zone and big time fourth down plays. And so offense started clicking there. But the big thing I think, and is kind of funny because he just walked in. But the big thing came from is the onside kick that we got.
I was going to bring that up.
Special teams did a great job because the first one that Cooper Wingate kicked, it was perfect. I mean, the first one was perfect, and Yanze, instead of going to hit the guy that he's supposed to hit, he's trying to get the ball. So that's why we don't get the first one. And the second one, we came back and we adjusted to that and told Yanze, look, we got 3 people getting the ball. You go find somebody and lay him out. And he did that on the second one. And then just like the first one, the kick was perfect. And Nick Floyd jumped there and got it.
Oh, it was perfect timing. Floyd got it about 11 yards from the line we kicked from. Now, I got to ask, as the official ran across from the other side of the field, after we recovered that ball, did you see him? Did you see that the last guy coming across the line, Judge?
I did not, but some of my boys was telling me about him, but I was just sitting there pleading my case to the one on the outside line. I was like, a call got to go our way.
I don't remember. In our film, it didn't show. Y'all might have had it, but he was making some motion with his hand that almost – I don't know if you could interpret it like we touched it too early or whatever, but he was coming across, and he's the same guy that threw the flag that we'd have had first and goal at the 2 one time. And we were all the way back about the 42.
Yes.
Same guy. But anyway, they huddled up, and it went our way, fortunately.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We needed a call to go our way all night. I mean, I felt like calls was going against us all night, so we needed one to go our way.
Well, you venture over into Georgia and you're playing somebody in another state. Those guys hadn't called us all year. They knew they wouldn't call us again. So, you never know what you're going to get. So, but I will say this. In the fourth quarter, 25-point comeback on all 12-minute quarter. High school's only got 12 minutes compared to college NFL having 15. But in addition to that, I know at least one time you were lobbying for more time to be put back on the clock because
yes, I mean because they was running the clock kept running after the play was down, the play was blown dead, and it kept running. And I know one time I asked the ref about the time, and he went and huddled up and talked to the other official, and he came back and he never explained it to me. So I was like yelling, just gonna sit there and ignore the time that just ran out the clock.
Right.
So yeah, so. That
And
Georgia officiating there.
oh, it was something else. And not only that, we picked up first down. I think it was on a 4th and 10. We convert a 4th and 10, catch a ball on sidelines on their sideline, go out of bounds, and the clock never stopped. While they moved the chains, reset everything, clock just kept running. And so that made the comeback even more
Well, it's not even
improbable and
that. I feel like
miraculous.
on that last drive, we scored 3 times.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Antron caught the ball over there in the corner of the end zone and fell on his bottom with the ball in his hand. They called it incomplete.
Right.
And then on the quarterback sneak, I thought Copeland got in, but evidently they didn't. So we had to dial up another play.
Oh, I agree completely. We couldn't tell, and obviously where Antron caught the ball, it was all the way on the far corner, so we couldn't tell.
Correct.
But we were judging by the way he reacted. He certainly acted like he thought.
Well,
he
actually,
caught
we
the
seen it
football.
later, and I asked Phil from the booth up there because they got the iPad and the instant replay stuff up there, but he was in.
Yeah, my goodness. You mentioned Browning Anderson, and we thought he played with so much heart. It seemed like he was worn out, hurt, whatever. Seemed like about the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was banged up, but like I said, I mean, he really grew up that Friday. Him and Antron Mitchell both. I mean, they basically played the whole game with no subbing coming in for him. And I mean, and towards the fourth quarter, that I had them running deep routes. I mean, we was running corner routes, out routes, go balls because we were trying to push the ball down the field. I mean, they sucked it up and they fought through it. But like I tell them all, I said that's when our conditioning comes in to play right there when we just suck it up and have to keep going.
And let's mention, you talked about Copeland earlier, but and they were worn out, but the defensive line for Early County was worn out too from chasing Copeland Cotton around the whole
Correct.
fourth quarter.
He played his tail off. I mean, like I told you, he extended some plays, and I always tell my receivers, I harp on them with them. I was like, the big plays come in the scramble drill. I said, we got a quarterback that can run, so never stand there and watch him. Right. I mean, either get in his vision, short guy go deep guy come back short. I mean, if you're away from him, get in his vision. I mean, because we got a quarterback that can use his legs, can get out the pocket, and deliver a strike to you.
Well, and the next to last touchdown we scored with like a minute 24, minute 34 to go was such a big play because it gave us enough time to get the ball and do something with the onside kick. But
Correct.
It was a scramble. He went to the right. He reversed field like Doug Flutie coming back around. And then he picked up Antron. I mean, breaking inside. He actually caught the ball in the end zone and Copeland threw it. We snapped the ball from around the 45-yard line.
I went back and watched it. He threw that ball about 55 yards on the run.
Right.
In the air.
Right.
I mean, that was a big time throw for him.
Right.
And I was standing right there when he let it go out, and I wasn't sure who he was throwing to. And then after a while, I seen Tron down there go up and grab it, and I was like, "Thank you, Lord."
Yeah, I saw. When I saw him let go of the ball, I looked and I saw Antron breaking. But I mean, he was way down the field. Like I said, he was cutting back across like a post, but he was all on the left side of the field a little bit. But yeah, it was a perfect throw though. He hit him on stride behind the defense. But Early County was worn out from chasing him around that whole fourth quarter. And it was devastating for their guys. I guess you saw it. I don't know if they were exhausted or disappointed, but they were laying all over the field when the game was over.
Yeah. I mean, what can you ask for a better game than that? Two really good teams fighting to the end. I mean, literally to the end.
Literally to the end. The same way it was the last time we went there. I don't know what it is about Eufaula and Early County, but it has developed into an exciting rivalry game. You think it has to do with the fact that these guys played Pee Wee football?
I mean, I think they got a lot to do with it. That's always been our rival in Pee Wee ever since I was playing Pee Wee football. So those guys know each other. They've been playing back and forth through all same age group and stuff like that. So I think they got a lot to do with it.
Right. I think so too. But congratulations on a great win, and hopefully it's momentum springing forward into this week's game tomorrow night, the first round of the Alabama High School Athletic Association playoffs. We're going to talk about that game tomorrow night and talk about the Tigers as we head into that game after we come back. You're listening to Eufaula High School Coaching Show, the Chick-Fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show right here on the Eufaula Tiger Football Progress. We'll be right back.
Again.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-Fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Hey Tiger fans, this is Lauren Streeter with Wiregrass Realty, and I'm here to tackle all your real estate needs. Let's team up and make a touchdown on your new home. Give me a call today, 334-614-7409. Go Tigers!
Precision Body Works is a state-of-the-art collision facility dedicated to providing customers with outstanding service and a quality repair experience. We have been serving Eufaula and the surrounding areas for over 20 years and have earned a reputation as being a premier collision repair center. Precision Body Works uses environmentally friendly PPG water-based paint and also offers 24-hour record service as well as top-of-the-line accessories from such brands as Cam Locker, Ranch Hand, Retrax, Weston, and WeatherTech. We are located at 1210 North Eufaula Avenue or call us at 334-687-4700.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? Is it a cool lake breeze on a hot summer day or by a warm fire on a cold night? Make every room in the house as inviting as the next. Also, make the air fresh and clean for everyone and keep humidity where it belongs. At Carrier, comfort means more than just the temperature. Contact Brown Heating and Air Condition, 714 South Eufaula Avenue, 334-687-5244.
Somebody cannot come to us, we go to them. It's something that we do on a regular basis, something we don't mind doing, and we work on a contingency basis.
No one has to pay us any money up front.
They do not have to pay us unless we collect for them, unless we are successful in resolving their case through a settlement or through trial.
They don't have to pay us any money unless we get favorable results for them. If you're hurt in a car wreck, call Penn and Seaborn. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hey Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Hey, we're back. Chick-fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show, previewing the first round playoff game between the Eufaula High School Tigers and the Faith Academy Rams. First ever meeting between these two schools, Coach Jernigan. And, I've heard of Faith. I knew a little bit about them. They used to be an Alabama independent school. They've been playing in the high school athletic association for maybe 20 years or so.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how many years they've been 5A, at least probably the last, 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, about 10 years.
About 10 years. And they've had some success. I looked at their overall playoff record. Now I don't know what their playoff record is in 5A, but they've got a winning playoff record overall, which is pretty impressive. They are, right there with UMS and St. Paul's and those other private schools down there in Mobile. They actually had a big victory over St. Paul's this year. St. Paul seems to be a little off, but what can we expect from the Faith Rams? I know that they're going to be, if they're like the rest of them, they're going to be a well-coached, fundamentally sound team.
Great. They're a well-coached team. They got some good athletes. They're not very deep. They play around about 13 to 15 guys for the whole entire game. They got about 50 kids on their team, but they play about 13 to 15 guys. Like you said, they're well coached. They got some good athletes on the outside. They got a number 1, he's a speedster. They also got a number 7, he's a junior. Really good receiver. He plays receiver and free safety. And like I said, they go both ways. And they got a really good running back. He's probably weigh 200 pounds, 210. He runs the ball really hard. So he's really, really good, really big. We got to hit him before he get going. Because once he gets going, he's hard to bring down.
Right.
And they got a young offensive line, but they get the job done. And their quarterback, number 11, he's a game manager. He don't do anything to hurt them. If that makes sense, he don't try to do too much. He know he can do. He know what he can't do. So he don't take many chances. I mean, he just rely on the athletes he got around him and the weapons he got around him,
which are pretty good. I mean, I had a chance to watch a little bit. It's on YouTube. The highlights, they're extended highlights of the St. Paul's and Faith game, and to me, he looked a lot like an AJ McCarron.
Huh.
I mean, because he's tall and slender. He's 6'4", about 165, and he throws the ball pretty good. I mean, at least he did in that game.
That's my comparison that I had also.
Is that right?
About him, AJ?
Yeah,
AJ McCarron.
So, but then, I mean, he's got the good running back behind him. I think I can't remember who that was.
23, and then he got a. It's funny because normally teams will have like a lightning and thunder and have like a big bruiser, and then they bring in like a shifty guy, but they got a big bruiser, and they bring in another bruiser. So It's 23, and then when 23 go out, they bring in 3. I mean, so they like 2 big backs. 3's a sophomore, 23's a senior. I mean, so they're really big bats. We just got to hit them before they get going, and fly around the ball, all 11 guys at the ball.
Well, they kind of reminded me – I mentioned AJ, but it kind of reminded me a little bit of St. Paul's when we played them when you were a senior. St. Paul's had a good running back.
Ivan Matchett.
Yeah, Ivan Matchett played on the next level. They had Mark Barron.
Robert Hood.
Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of reminds me to a certain extent of the St. Paul's team.
Yeah, I want to say they're as good as those guys, though. Those guys are really good as St. Paul.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying they reminded me.
They're good players. They're good players now. They're really good players. Can't take nothing away from them. They're a coach. I mean, they're going to do what they do. They're going to be fundamentally sound. So, with that being said, we have to be fundamentally sound and read our keys.
And let's talk about that a little bit. We're talking about defensively. We're going to read the keys. They have scored 343 points on the season. Eufaula is 281, so they've scored a few more points than we have. But the big thing that jumps out at you, and I know you already know where I'm going with this, defensively, they've given up 68 points in 10 games. So,
I think when last time I looked at someone said they had the number 1 defense in 5A.
I wouldn't be surprised because the 4 shutouts, and they've only given up more than a touchdown in any game twice, and that was the 2 games they lost.
Correct.
So obviously, offensively, we've got our work cut out for us. And
yeah, they fly around on defense, but it's some holes out there.
So what do they do? How have they been able to? Because obviously they played good competition down in Mobile. How have they been able, in your opinion, to limit teams from getting on the scoreboard, other than UMS and Gulf Shores?
Basically, I mean, they play good team ball. I mean, they fly around, they play hard. Like I said, 23. Like last Friday, we went down there and watched them. 23 play running back, came back on defense, played defense end. I mean, so they got their studs out there in the field. I mean, they're gonna play hard. They're well conditioned, but we got to just keep chopping at them.
So all these guys we've talked about on offense, I noticed number 2. I hate to use numbers. We could call their names, but we'll call their names tomorrow night. Number 2 had 2 big interceptions against St. Paul's that I saw, where he played, good position on the receiver, and actually went up and took the ball away from the receivers for St. Paul's. But he was also in there running some wide receiver on offense.
Yeah, so, I mean, they go both ways. 1 and 2 both play corner, and both of them play receiver. 7 plays receiver, 7 plays safety. Like I said, 23 plays running back, 23 plays defensive end. 3 plays running back, 3 plays the other defensive end. I mean, so they're going. They got their studs out there. I mean, they don't come off the field. They scored a touchdown last Friday, kick an extra point. They all on extra point. They leave extra point. They don't even go back to the sideline. They run straight down the field, get in the huddle, a kick out team. I mean, so that's why I said we just got to keep playing, get them moving sideline to sideline, wear them down.
Okay. So they've lost 2 games this year. I mean, we were checking scores 2 weeks ago. I try to say last night, Friday night, but it was 2 weeks ago when we played Early County. We were checking in on that UMS and Faith game. Faith, from the reports we got, had a lead on UMS. UMS came back to win the game. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So Faith was up, 14-0?
I think so, yeah.
So they was up 14-0, and then they end up, UMS end up coming back, doing what Terry Curtis do down there, chip away at it and give you a chance at the end, and they pulled it off at the end.
So So other than just having good ball players and having a good scheme or whatever, what was Gulf Shores and UMS able to do that some of these other teams they played weren't able? Somebody like a St. Paul's. St. Paul's turned the ball over quite a bit in that game, or
I mean, Gulf Shores got some players. Gulf Shores got a good quarterback. They got Ronnie Roy down there at running back, who's seemed like he's been in high school football forever down there. And I mean, they just ran the ball on them and they threw it when they had to. But Gulf Shores, they moved the ball. I mean, they got players and both of them well coached down there. So it's just all about your keys and your matchups. Like games like this in the playoffs come down to matchups.
sure, that's right. All right, well, good deal. Let's talk about health of Eufaula. I know we were missing our top 2 running backs 2 weeks ago. How are we health wise heading into this game tomorrow night?
Red Harris will be back. He's practiced all week, so we'll have him back ready to go on Friday. Chubb is probably going to be a game time decision. He got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so we'll see about him. See if he's going to be back. I mean, everybody else should be back. A good thing we had this bye week because the flu hit us hard come Sunday morning, Monday morning. I had about 15, 18 kids out. So praise the Lord we had that bye week right there. Oh, we'd have been in trouble for that week last Friday. So but I think we should be ready to go on Friday. Everybody should be ready to go.
So Chubb's got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so you'll find out after that. Has he been able to practice during this period of time?
Well, he's not been practicing, but he's been conditioning.
Okay.
We've been having him running every morning when we working out, going over plays and stuff. He's been watching. He's been going over mentally locked in and stuff. But we've been conditioning him every day.
And we had some linemen that missed the game at Early County. So how are we as far as that? Will we be back full strength on the offensive line?
Yeah, that's when it started. Ben Holloway was out with the flu. So that's when it's kind of like trickled down. He got it I'm going to say that Thursday, that Friday morning he went to the doctor. So he couldn't play. And then that next day it hit us. But I expect him to be back. Ben Holloway will be back in full effect.
Okay. Well, outstanding. So everybody's excited and looking forward to the game tomorrow night. I got a phone call right before you walked in the door. Somebody calling, checking on it, wanting to know how they could get their tickets. So how can they
same
get
thing, GoFan. And let me say this, like this is a playoff game, a state game. Everyone has to buy a ticket. Only one get in on coaching card or administrative coaching card. That's it. Everyone has to buy a ticket.
Right. Okay. And as far as the watching the game, we said this plenty last coach's show. We said it during the game at Early County, but let's reiterate again. The only way that someone can watch this game live is going to be the NFHS network.
Correct.
So it will not be broadcast on YouTube. It will not be broadcast on Facebook. If you're watching the coach's show tonight, you won't be able to see the game tomorrow night unless you come watch it live or you buy the rights to the NFHS.
And let me say this: I want everybody want a packed house tomorrow night. Want them wear red. Everybody wear red. We're gonna be in red tops, red bottoms, red socks. So we want all our fans red on.
Well, that's great. You heard it.
NFHS won't have audio tomorrow night. We're the only audio. But I want to bring up one point, Jarrell. We always talk about a lot how this area doesn't get respect, whether it's Region 2, whether it's Eufaula Tigers, whatever it is. With Faith only losing by 1 point to UMS Wright last Friday night, this is a golden opportunity. I'm guessing that's the way y'all see it too. If Eufaula could come out victorious tomorrow night, that's obviously going to get a lot of attention across the state.
Correct. I agree with you on that. I really agree with you on that. That's because all the sports writers down in Mobile or Birmingham.
That's right.
Only one we got up here is the Dothan Eagle. So
that's right. Yeah. So
we have a question while we talking about tomorrow night. There will not be any reserve seat.
No reserve
tomorrow.
seats.
No reserve.
No reserve seats. First come, first serve.
Okay. Since I have the mic now, I'd like to congratulate you and Patrick on being selected to the All-Star game for
Thank you.
North South. And also, it's not very, much said, but your first year's head coaching, going 7-2, losing the game to Pipe Road, which we could have easily have won. I still see nightmares on that 3rd and 32. And Charles Henderson, which was, like you had said, was a very well-prepared coach team. And they came in and they, you had your nights, and that was their night. and maybe we'll see them again in the playoffs. You
I hope
never
so.
know.
He'll be in the semifinals.
I hope so. I hope so.
But you have had, a very successful season your first year, and to be selected as an assistant coach to the All-Star game, that's a heck of an honor. I myself, and I know Keith and Doug are real proud of you. Just keep it going.
I thank you. I can't say thank you without mentioning my assistant coaches. I got some great assistant coaches behind me that they keep me straight day in and day out, and just all of you just around me, and plus the community. The community's been backing me since I got this job. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's been backing me since then.
Well, you came, and your slogan is team, town, and tradition.
One team, one town, one tradition. Yeah, that's and we talked about it earlier this year. I love that. That's a great slogan. And if you came up with it, that was classic and brilliant. So it's just wonderful. And congratulations. I springboard off what Charles said. Very proud of what's been able to be accomplished this year.
Yes,
so
sir.
great job. And like I said, just little things. Game management, clock management. That's little things that y'all have done well this year. Just want to publicly say, that what a good thing it is, because that hasn't always been the case here in Eufaula. Being aware of timeouts, of clock, of running that clock down, and just a great job. So now I had something else on my mind before we started talking along those lines, and
well, with that being said, just say I had some good coaches from Pee Wee on up help me and teach me.
Yeah. So, that's something else. I think about that. Were you number 22? Was that your first number in Pee Wee?
23.
23. Well, that's close.
Yes,
that's been a long time ago.
First year, I was 23.
That was 25 years ago. So anyway, so Faith comes in, and if we don't want to look ahead, but it's Demopolis, and we were talking about brackets. County. Demopolis and Elmore County one of those two would be the second round matchup. But if we're looking at the bracket correctly, if when we win this game, we would be traveling either way. Correct.
Correct.
Okay. And of course, he was mentioning the Charles Henderson game. Charles Henderson, we would not meet them again. It would be the fourth round, the semifinals. And he mentioned Pike Road, but did you pay any attention to the Pike Road and I think it was Carver game? I think it was Carver.
I caught the tail end of it.
Yeah. You caught the missed field goal?
Yeah.
Caught
that
almost the same place on the field.
That last drive.
If he misses that kick against us.
Sure, he would have missed it against us, huh?
Yeah. So, he's kicking for those of you who didn't or don't know what we're talking about, Pike Road, of course, kicked a field goal at the end to force overtime against Eufaula. They had the same scenario against Carver and missed the field goal from about the same distance on the field. So it's just the way it goes. So, but anyway, any more questions from the audience, Charles? Okay, we're going to step aside for another commercial break, and we'll be back with more of the Chick-Fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show after this time out.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Easy Metal Building Kits, pole barns, and metal roofing supplies. APEC Metal Express carries multiple kit sizes and colors with at-home DIY instruction. APEC Metal Express. Fast delivery, superior quality, excellent customer service.
Does your IT infrastructure or computer equipment have you sidelined? Don't throw in the towel yet. Call Chris Wertz at Wertz Consulting at 334-695-2820.
With the world changing all around us, everyone needs to be covered by insurance. So give Eric Glover with the Glover Agency a call and talk with Eric about auto, home, life, or last week's football game. Whatever your insurance needs, let Eric talk to you about being covered. The Glover Agency is located at 145 East Broad Street, Eufaula, Alabama. Call 334-687-0358.
When it's football time, we at First Franklin Financial are big fans of our local teams, just like you. We've been part of the community for over 75 years, and when you need money for repairs or emergencies, we'll help you play offense. We offer fixed-rate loans up to $15,000 with easy payment plans and fast approvals. Visit 1ffc.com to find the location near you. Legal, all loan terms and applicable APRs depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria for the loan size requested and may require collateral. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 5656. In sports, the goal is to be the best. The same is true for Alpha Insurance. We work to make every quote, claim, or call a highlight. That's why customers consistently give Alpha high marks for service. Call Alpha and let us help you save on home, car, and life insurance. In Eufaula, call Alpha agents Keith or Brooke Bryan at 334-687-8268 or stop by our office at 1326A South Eufaula Avenue.
Hey Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-Fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-Fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
And we're back. Coach Jernigan, Faith Academy, all those private schools in Mobile, the Mobile region always traditionally tough. 2 losses, both teams, I guess they are 8-2, we're 7-2. We did not play that first week of the season. We didn't play, I guess, week 0, they call it. But 2 losses for each team. Their 2 losses came to in region. UMS and Gulf Shores, their combined records 19-1. So, and they lost those games fairly close. I think it was 10-point loss to Gulf Shores and 1-point loss to UMS. But who does Faith, of the teams we played this year, who would Faith most resemble as far as what the schemes they run and things like that?
I would say Stanhope Edmore.
Okay.
Stanhope, they kind of remind you of Stanhope, which people that don't know is our first home game that we played here.
And that was a good game. I mean, Stanhope was leading us until right there at the end of the first half, and we scored 16 points within a couple of minutes.
Correct.
And so it was that turned the game, and it was a great way to get your career started. Stanhope's traditionally, of course, Stanhope later in the year beat Pike Road, who we lost to. So Stanhope, didn't have a great year, but they had a pretty good competitive team. They
some close games too. They played Carver Montgomery close also.
Right. So okay. So that's good to know. I mean, just from the little bit I saw, it looks like they throw the ball well, got good receivers, and you already talked about the running backs. They're pretty balanced, it looks like. Don't know any stats, but they run and throw, so they're multifaceted.
Yeah, they are. Like I said earlier, we got to stop the run. Our first priority is stopping the run.
Okay, well, good. Has anyone put any real pressure on that quarterback this year from what y'all have seen on film?
Not from what we've seen on film. He gets the ball out, credit to them. He gets the ball out of his hand pretty quick. So, I mean, we got to come up with ways, different stunts and stuff to try to get to him. But, I mean, he gets the ball out pretty quick. He don't sit back there and hold it.
Okay. And on defense, what kind of base defense do they run?
They got 4 down. They come with 4 down. Sometimes they go 5 down. And like I said, 23-3, they're running backs. They're the ends out there. So, I mean, they don't really bring pressure. They sit back, rely on fundamental football, So, I mean, like I said before, they're well coached.
But they've got athletes on the corners.
Yes, and like from film, they played cover 3. One high safety back there was a really good player. They got back there in the 7, the receiver. He's just safety back there roaming around.
And he's got some height.
He's a junior too. He's a really good kid. He looks really good in pass also. He's about 6'2.5".
Right.
He's long kid, can run well, catch well, great ball skills too.
From the little bit I saw on film, I thought he was 6'3", 6'4". I pulled up the roster. They got him listed at 6'2", but he looks taller than that.
Yeah, he's about 6'2.5". He got long arms though.
Right.
He got long strides, so he's a really good player for him.
That's right. So anything else you want to communicate to the fans before tomorrow night's game? Like you said, come out, wear red. Everybody come out, have a loud crowd, big crowd.
And one of the big things, I said it before, on 3rd down, when our defense is on 3rd down, we want, and I'm going to tell the band this tomorrow at the pit rally, we want the band to get loud, student section, the crowd. I mean, we want the crowd into it. I mean, we want to into it. Our defense need that help. They need that support. We need to be loud for them to get out the field on third down.
I agree completely. Now, we talked about this before, and just to reiterate, is there a rule against a band playing while the other team is?
I thought it was a rule, but until they call it, I told Mr. Washburn they can beat on the drums, do whatever until they call it.
Right.
Until they call me to the sideline and tell me to tell my band they're ready to stop.
Okay. Well, hey, we have home field. We earned home field advantage.
Correct.
We need to utilize it, right?
You got that right.
So, anyway, well, we appreciate it. We wish you all, the success in the world tomorrow night. We hope the guys come out and play great. We don't want to see the 2022 season come to an end. It's sudden death at this point. It's win or go home. So
one game at a time.
That's right.
I got to tell my boys, one game at a time.
That's right. So we are going to have one final segment here of the Chick-fil-A You Follow Coaches show. We're going to be joined by the owner-operator, Daniel Pulley. When we come back, we'll step aside for one more commercial break, and we'll be back with more of the Chick-fil-A You Follow Coaches show after this.
Hey, Tiger fans. Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Somebody cannot come to us, we go to them. It's something that we do on a regular basis, something we don't mind doing, and we work on a contingency basis.
No one has to pay us any money up front.
They do not have to pay us unless we collect for them, unless we are successful in resolving their case through a settlement or through trial.
They don't have to pay us any money unless we get favorable results for them. If you're hurt in a car wreck, call Penn and Seaborn. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services.
Benny Whitehead Incorporated has called Eufaula home since 1965. Today, the family-owned business owns and operates 119 tractors and trailers and employs over 150 people. Benny Whitehead is nationally known as a leader in safety and keeping the air clean and fuel consumption low. Benny Whitehead Incorporated loves Eufaula and would like to wish Lakeside and Eufaula safe and successful seasons.
Say something.
Can you hear me? Is this one on?
Yeah, it's on. I hear you.
Attention contractors, is your metal roofing provider slowing you down? APEC Metal Express fills orders within a week. 40-year finish warranty, 17 different colors, and multiple truss styles. Work more and wait less.
Hey, Tiger fans. Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Chick-fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show, previewing the first-round playoff game between the Faith Academy Rams and the Eufaula High School Tigers. We're joined now by owner-operator Daniel Pulley of Chick-fil-A here in Eufaula. Daniel, glad you could join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited for this week, excited for the Tigers. It's just really, when you get into playoff season, it's a whole new season. It's a whole new chance to start anew. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but it sounded like the Tigers started to click in the fourth quarter, so those glimpses turning into consistency. And so let's hope that was the spark that they needed over these next 5 weeks.
Yes, sir.
So excited for you guys. But again, this has been just an awesome time. I hope we have 4 or 5 more of these throughout the season.
5 more.
5 more. Yeah, we'll celebrate the state championship
5
in here.
more.
Y'all are more than welcome to do that. But this week, just wanted to present our check to you as a title sponsor of the Coaches Show. Jarrell, we are all really excited to partner with you, excited about what you're doing for this community and this team. Congratulations. I want to echo Charles on being selected as an all-star coach. Like, what an honor. But want to present our check to you during the show. What a great time we've had supporting you in this team this year. And we're hopeful that we've got 4 or 5 more weeks to do this. And, I think we can do it. I hope we can do it, but no pressure.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
hope you know
sir.
that too.
I appreciate
so there
it.
you are, man. Thank you guys for allowing us to do this. It's nice to be a small part of the You Follow Tiger football team.
I want to say thank you. Just partnering with us. I know this is our first year doing the coaches show at Chick-fil-A coaches show. I had a great time. I'm looking forward to next year coming back and, just bringing more people back with me, more of the community back. And I just want to say these next 4 weeks, more people show up, ask more questions. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Something you've seen in the game the previous week, that feel free to come or tune in online, ask more questions and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the things, again, I want to encourage Tiger fans, get out, support the boys. It makes a difference. This is a tough place to play. Let's make it even harder for a team that's coming from across the state, because it's not an easy trip when you're making those long bus rides. Get out, support the boys, give them that extra little bit of juice, because it makes a difference.
That's right. Well, and we didn't really talk about that very much, but since he said that, I'm gonna springboard on that before we sign off tonight. 4-hour bus trip. We took one almost that far when we went to Pell City.
Yes.
Advantage, disadvantage. What kind of disadvantage it is for them? Obviously, they haven't traveled this year at all. All their games have been right there in Mobile, Baldwin County. So, what kind of adjustment potentially would that be for them making that kind of trip?
Well, I think it'd be a big advantage for us. Anybody don't. I mean, a 4-hour bus trip. I mean, that's a long trip, especially come up the same day and play that night. I think that'll help us out. Hopefully, we come out and take advantage of that and jump on them early. And get going early, so they kind of looking like they don't know what hit them by the time they wake up for that bus ride. I mean, but yeah, I mean, just because they got so much stuff to do, they got to stop somewhere halfway, get a meal, then pregame meal, then you got to get here, and they got to fight through traffic getting in, and just, I mean, it's all that is tied into traveling, especially 4-hour bus ride.
Well, it's going to be something they haven't done this year, because 2 of their opponents, as we talked about earlier, are on the same road that they're on. I mean, St. Paul's, when they played a road game at Faith 2 weeks ago, they took a left out of their parking lot, and then they took a right into the parking lot of St. Paul. Of Faith, and that was it. The same road.
Yeah,
so,
that's
it. That's what they're accustomed to doing down there. All those games are right there within 20 or 30, 20, 25 miles of each other, Alberta and all that. So it will be. But like we said, that goes back to the home field advantage, the band, the fans being loud, everybody turning out.
Want everybody in there Friday. We want it loud. We want a great atmosphere for these guys. Whether you know it or not, like these guys, they feed off that energy from the crowd and the band and everybody else getting up and get pumped, and it makes them just go harder.
That's right. Well, Coach, we'll be looking forward to it tomorrow night. We'll be there. We'll do everything we can. Everybody that's sitting there listening to this tonight, make it out to Tiger Stadium tomorrow night. If you can't, we'll have the audio pregame for you at 6:45. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Once again, no video tomorrow night, audio only. But make every effort to make it to Tiger Stadium tomorrow night. For Charles Irvin, Doug Applin, Daniel Pulley, Coach Darrell Jernigan, I'm Keith Brown. Wishing you a good night and a great weekend. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.